Gentlemen, I would like to call to order this public meeting of the Board of Johnson County Commissioners on this Monday, April 27th, 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m. If you care to, please pray with us and then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you bow with me for a moment of prayer, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you as always for the multitude of blessings you have bestowed upon us. And dear Lord, we hear you and you hear us. We speak to you and you speak to us. Dear Lord, we look to you for guidance and you walk with us. And Lord, when our days are over, we will seek your hand and you will walk with us to your home. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now we will open up for public comment limited to agenda topics and 5 minutes per person if we have anybody that desires to speak. Please come forward. Please state your name for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Linda Norton, and I'm here today to address the City of Franklin and Franklin Redevelopment Commission's proposal to pursue a $500,000 survey indicating a need for a highway interchange located at 300 North and I-65 with anticipation of future development in the area. Not only is this land not in Franklin's jurisdiction, it is also not for sale. The proposed new comprehensive plan has the land along 300 North marked as Commercial Activity Center, Light Industrial for the future, and has neglected to add farming, which is the most likely use of this land. The 4 landowners represented today own land along 300 North. Crystal Spring Farm, owned by my family, is on the north and stretches 3/4 of a mile along 300 to the east, or to the west, excuse me. The LaGrange Farm covers the land south of 300 North from I-65 and also the north and south side of 300 North. And then the Campbell Farm joins the LaGranges. So it's a long stretch between them. These properties each have been actively farmed for nearly 200 years by the same family. Many people cannot comprehend that something is not for sale, but we all have been entrusted by previous generations to protect and preserve what was cleared by our ancestors in the 1830s. We all have been approached about selling your vacant land, as the developer calls it, with no comprehension that this land is a crop-producing business and our home. No one has asked any of us that are most impacted by such an interchange of how it would affect our livelihood. Bottom line is we do not want an interchange. Moving farm equipment through the existing traffic is a challenge, and the added number of vehicles would increase the chance of an accident. There are studies regarding the crime that's generated in rural areas once they are exposed to an interstate interchange. And I have some quotes from some research. Interchange exits are associated with higher crime rates in surrounding areas. They provide easy access for criminals, allowing them to quickly enter, commit property crimes or robberies, and escape, often referred to as get off, commit crime, and get back on behavior. This increased accessibility can lead to higher rates of burglary and robbery in these locations. The rapid transit, lack of barriers, and easy on-off access makes areas around exits attractive for criminals to commit crimes, especially theft and robbery. Studies show that opening an interstate highway can increase total index crime in a county, often driven by rise in property crime. Criminals often use these routes for drug trafficking, human trafficking, and transporting stolen goods. Rural areas often see higher increases in crime after becoming connected to an interstate. And there's much more research available online. There are farms. These farms have extremely expensive equipment that would be at risk, as well as the existing $1 million homes south of 300 that are on Hurricane Road, and the proposed high-end homes that Fred Paris would like to do in a development along Hurricane. These would be easy targets with minimal chance of capturing the perpetrators. Crystal Spring Farm's been operating since 1829, with 8th generation grandchildren now learning the value of tradition and preservation. Now is not the time to needlessly disrupt the farms to the north and east of Franklin, when chances of development can be as far out as 50 years or more. Surely, there are other projects where the city and the county can spend the up to $250,000 that's going to be allotted to each of as part of this survey. A traffic study in this area was done several years ago, but was misrepresented due to the traffic that was increased from the roundabout being built on Graham Road. If a traffic study is proposed, it needs to reflect actual traffic and not the heavy volume that we see at this moment due to the roundabout on Whiteland Road, nor the increase in traffic when they result in widening Graham Road between 300 and 400 North. There's no need for an interchange at this time or in the near future. Someday, if any of this land is to be sold for a project that would require an interchange, that's the time to do the survey. Any big project would require zoning annexation if Franklin took control and construction that would last at least 3 to 4 years before an actual operation came into effect, which would give time for a survey and moving forward if an interchange was needed. That would justify the pursuing of an interchange, but until that occurs, this needs to be tabled.
Thank you. Any questions, gentlemen? Thanks, Alana. Thank you.
But we have 3 more.
Hello there. I'm William McKernan. And I represent the LaGrange Farm, which I'm part owner along with my uncle Thomas Hill here. This farm's been in our family for 175 years. We have no intention of
Step
selling.
a little closer to the microphone.
A little closer to the microphone. Is that better?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we own 3 corners of the area we're talking about. And I live in the house just to the west, the red brick colonial. And that house was built in 1941 by my grandparents. And an exit there, I just can't imagine all the riffraff coming off the interstate driving up and down my driveway. I feel like I may have to build an Osama bin Laden law, around it, to keep them out. But frankly, the property is not going to be sold. The interstate went through our property back when I was a little boy, and it cut our farm in half. I think we've given enough to the government. The other thing is, I would like to know what this survey represents. Tell me exactly what this survey is that is under question today. The $500,000 survey. Does anybody know what exactly it constitutes?
Well, they're going to do a study on traffic in Franklin, all the surrounding roads, to see what the impact is going to be. Were you
All
at
the
the Board
surrounding
of Works
roads,
meeting?
more than just 300 North?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, that's about all I have to say.
Morning, my name is Tom Hill. Just to add to what Buzz said, that over the years, it's been an active farm.
Sir, excuse me, I'm sorry. Can you move closer to the microphone? I'll move it closer to you.
That help?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's better. As I say, that it's been an active farm. Some years ago, I-65 came through and divided the farm in half. And now with this proposed interstate, it's just more acreage lost. And I just would like that to be considered. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Coleman Campbell. I'm a 7th generation farmer here in Johnson County. We've been farming the same, or operating off the same farm since 1834. on County Road 300 North. Is less than a mile from the proposed interchange. I'm a young farmer who intends to operate in this county for as long as sustainably possible. I serve on the Johnson County Fair Board of Directors, and I'm an active member in the Johnson County Fair Board or Farm Bureau Board. I'm here to speak against the proposed $500,000 study for an interchange at 300 North. To me, this is not just a study. This is a first step towards development that will permanently change this area and put additional pressure on productive farmland. This also creates safety concerns as farmers. We already have limited options to move equipment across the county. Adding more traffic and congestion to this area will make it even more difficult and more dangerous to move large farm equipment from field to field safely. It's not just an inconvenience, it's a risk to the farmers and to the public. Johnson County is growing, and I understand that, but where and how we grow matters. And I would urge you to reconsider funding this study and find a better place to spend taxpayer dollars, because I don't feel like this is necessary at the time. I agree with Linda Norton with the crime concerns, as well as the research she has provided. Thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, comments?
Well, in answer to the one gentleman's question on what this evaluation consists of, I can read it for you. One, the coordination with various agencies and stakeholders for the purpose of acquiring and reviewing data information for the preparation of the study report. Review of existing studies and or reports that will impact the development of the County Road 300 North I-65 interchange. Field investigation, on-site collection of data, preliminary drainage assessment, horizontal vertical alignment alternatives for two different alternates using available GIS information, development of typical roadway sections, determine preliminary right-of-way needs for each alternate, develop preliminary assessment of costs for each alternate, preferred alternate alignment, up to 2 schematic alternates on aerial photos, preliminary utility impact assessment. That's what the proposed evaluation from HWC engineering entails.
Sure. I'm good.
Thank you very much. Discover Downtown Franklin Strawberries on the Score event, May 22nd.
Hello, Danny Cosley with Discover Downtown Franklin. Thanks for allowing me to come in today. This very simple on as far as the county end. Hopefully really all we're asking is for access to 2 of your water spigots. They're the same ones we've used the last several years for the Indiana American Water trailer and the Oriental Cookery trailer. They both need a hose hookup, and they bring the safety covers for the sidewalks where they cross the sidewalks. This event's our most beloved event. Ironically, Linda Norton is kind of the queen of this event, so thanks to all the work she does. We served over 6,000 strawberry shortcakes last year, so it's pretty amazing. But as far as county property, we won't have any tents on any grass or anything like that. It'll all be in the streets, and that's about it.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank
Motion
you.
carried.
Thank you very much.
Franklin American Legion Post Field of Crosses and Memorial Day event service. Any questions on that? Everything looks to be in line as far as our
no,
policies
good.
and requirements. So
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Routine matters consent agenda. By a single motion, the commissioners approve the following items. Ratification of commissioners' department liaison list. Ratification of NDOT local roads and bridges matching grant agreement for project description number 2600250. Minutes for 4/13/2026 executive session and minutes for 4/13/2026 joint executive session with Johnson County Memorial Hospital Board of Trustees.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Elected officials and department heads, public safety communication. Advisory board appointments.
Keith Brandt, 911 Director. Just had time to appoint our board members to the 911 board. All members that have been appointed before are willing to continue to serve. So just reappointment of those individuals.
I'll move to approve the submitted form.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Request to attend the 2026 National APCO Conference, August 2nd through the 5th in San Antonio, Texas.
It's a request for myself and Kip Worden, who's our training coordinator, to attend the National APCO Conference. We've been selected to be presenters at this year's conference, so the conference itself is free. It's just a matter of travel.
Believe it meets all the requirements on.
We have all the information from him, yeah, and that's set out separately.
Okay, we get that this morning. Yes.
That's the other ones.
Oh, yeah.
The other three.
Keith, I see you have 5 nights for a hotel. When do you arrive? On the 1st?
Yeah, it'd be the registration is on that Saturday, so we'll by our schedule, we would run. It starts first thing Sunday morning, so we would get in Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening.
And then you fly out on the 5th?
Yeah, Thursday, because it ends Wednesday evening.
Yeah. Well, we've talked obviously at length about some of these attendance in different conferences, especially out of state. And is this for certification, or does it enhance your certification?
Yeah, I've attended this conference multiple years. I didn't go last year I didn't ask to go last year just because of the location. It was in Baltimore, Maryland last year, and it was not safe the last time it was in Baltimore, so I chose not to attend. But yeah, I've gone to this conference multiple times and have brought back some great things from these conferences for sure. Yes, it's especially when it comes to technology. I mean, there's no better place where you're going to have all the different vendors and all the new technology that is on display that allows us to. We've implemented a lot of different things that have come from these. Absolutely.
Well, I think because we've approved your attendance for several years, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, sir. Next request, attend the 2026 Be the Difference Conference, July 19th to 22nd in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, this is for one of our supervisors. She actually entered a contest with the Denise Amberly Foundation, and they gave away one free conference nationwide, and she actually received that free attendance. So I know there were some questions. I was talking with Tiffany this morning. There's somebody else that is attending the conference as well that is a friend of hers she will actually be traveling with. So there's no cost whatsoever other than just her hourly wage while she's and attending the conference. No travel costs or attendance costs for her.
So she's using her own personal vehicle or?
It's not hers. There's somebody that is, she is a friend of hers that is actually I know her as well, just because she is a national board member for the National NINA Board, which is an organization that we're all members of. She's attending the conference as well, and she's going to travel with her. She lives in Michigan. She's going to pick her up on her way through. So there's no, she's going to be riding with her now. No.
I'm going to put a hold on this until we discuss a little bit further. We've discussed a lot of different scenarios with this travel from a liability standpoint. So we'll talk about it in exec and we'll get back to you with an answer.
Whatever information you need from me, if I need to gather some stuff for you, just
Okay.
let me know and I have contact with both individuals, so it shouldn't be a problem getting you whatever you.
Okay.
Need a motion to table, sir?
I put a motion to the table.
You moved the table?
Yeah.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to table. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed,
We'll get back to you in plenty of time.
motion carries. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah,
Okay.
like I said, whatever you need, just let me know and I'll get whatever information you need.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Recorder request to attend the 2026 Annual Fiddler Education Symposium, May 18th through the 20th in Rock Island, Illinois.
Good morning, Angel Weiser, Chief Deputy Recorder. So this is something that we've attended every year, and it is just the educational symposium from Fiddler. They put this on, they introduce all the new software and update us on any legislative changes that they know of. It is just an education symposium.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. That organization picks some really ranked places to go though, don't they? Iowa, Illinois. Wow, and I've been in Iowa. I got drafted by Iowa, so I know what Iowa's like. Anyway. Extension Office approval of Toshiba sales order and maintenance contract.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. D1 has been stricken. Carrie, the director requested to table it to the next meeting. Highway, several things. I'll let you guys go through it.
Good morning, Luke Maston, Highway Supervisor. The first item is our request for your approval of a new copier sales order and maintenance contract to replace our 10-year-old copier.
That probably should have been under,
That was true.
Yeah, I'd move to approve.
no, that's wonderful.
Oh. Second.
Yeah.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Indeed.
Aye.
Aye.
Should-
Opposed? Motion carries. Yeah, we should have done that under consent. Sorry, Luke, we missed that.
Then you wouldn't get to talk to me because everything else is Daniel.
Oh, well, that's, see, there's always a positive, right? Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
We're having some discussion here.
Good morning, Daniel Johnston, Highway Engineer. Our next item is requesting your approval or award and execution of the Bridge 85 and Culvert P004 construction project to Duncan Robertson as the most responsive and responsible bidder.
Daniel, I read through there, but I never saw a breakdown on what's the amount that we're 100% paying for?
So I guess overall, as I'm finding it, that we are 100% local on the Culvert P004 aspect
Yeah.
of the project. I thought I had a breakdown of that at the end of the contract template. I do not. I can get that information to you if you would like.
Okay. And the 40,000 contingency fees on top of the 1,500,000?
Yes, that's more just for a flexibility issue out in the field when small issues come up and we can make a quick on-site decision to proceed. And then later bring those items, those topics back to you.
Is this gonna create a time constraint for you as far as contract release or?
Actually, it would be beneficial for us to have this contract done. The Indianapolis MPO. They're looking for, actually, they sent me an email this morning just asking about the status of this contract so that they can go ahead and fund their portion of the project for Bridge 85.
I'm gonna go ahead and move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I will get those costs breakdown to you.
Yeah, thank you.
The next item also associated with that project, we are requesting your approval and execution of the construction inspection contract with Crossroad Engineers for that project.
We'll go ahead and move to approve that also.
And second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And that's on top of the 1,500,000 also?
That's correct.
And we pay 100% of that, or?
We will pay 100% for the inspection associated with the culvert P004, but the MPO would be partially funding the inspection on the bridge portion of
And
that
we
overall.
can send a breakdown on that
Yes.
too.
Yep.
Move to approve.
Second. Very good.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're done.
Move on.
Next item, I realized I had a typo in my memo. This was for requesting your award and execution of the 2026 Mill and Overlay project. That bid opening actually occurred at your prior meeting, April 13th. There was a typo in my memo, so I apologize for that. But that would be to Calumet Civil Contractors as the most responsive and responsible bidder. There's also an additional contingency amount of 35,000 just to be able to make quick decisions in the field during construction.
Move to approve.
Second, but I got a question.
All right.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion.
When I looked through the bid estimates and just out of curiosity on the one section, you got 3 tons of riprap and $143.33 a ton. And then on the second section, they got 7 tons of riprap, but it's only $119.15. Same project. I mean, I don't know why the riprap would be higher on one section than the other, but.
We've seen that trend many times. Some contractors on some projects will use the same unit bid price across all road segments. Others, they'll do their calculations to try to optimize their bid. And on different road segments, the same pay item may have a slightly different unit.
And do you question that?
If it seems reasonable, no, we don't. And if the rest of the pay items, certainly those pay items that are more that have more of a weight in or a more higher portion of the cost of the project, we would certainly focus in on those. The particular pay item that you've identified or asked about, really just a small aspect of the project, but it does seem weird. Yes, but
Yeah, because they mirrored on like the striping and all of that was all mirrored, one proposed to the other, but on the riprap it was different. I was just.
Could it possibly be delivery fees, maybe on the weight or tonnage?
I didn't think so. You could haul either load and triaxles.
Just
so
trying
I
to
think
make sense of it.
transport would be the same, but Just curious.
And Commissioner West, your comment about the pavement markings, that potentially could have been just the bid from their subcontractor for that particular task as well. That would have given them the same unit price for both segments.
Well, the reason I point that out is in part, I would think if I was bidding, I'd be consistent in my numbers, because if I'm not, here's what happens. Somebody like me says, how come it's higher here than there? And then they begin to question other parts of their bid. So, but then thank you for that.
0.00 always works well for me too, instead of 0.01. Just common sense wise. I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Commissioner Baird, Luke was able to give me the numbers. So before going to the next item, if I could kind of follow back on Commissioner West's question about the breakdown of the county share for the Bridge 85 project.
Sure.
So the total contract amount was $1,517,573. That's the total amount. For Bridge 85, that portion for Bridge 85, it's $1,057,770. And then the portion of the contract for the culvert is $459,802. So roughly 2/3 of the overall project is for the bridge, and roughly 1/3 of the project is for the culvert. So in terms of the county's share of that project, for construction, our share, it's going to be $671,356, roughly 44%. And that's because of the county funding 100% local, the culvert aspect of it. For the inspection fees of that contract with Crossroad Engineers was $191,500. And the county's share of that is going to be $106,878, or roughly 55%. So overall, in terms of the costs of both construction and inspection, we, the county, are paying about 45%. Overall, our amount will be $778,235. And 1 cent, Commissioner Baker.
Yeah, I saw that on stamp.
We're there'll be a typo on the end of that says 0.00.
So any,
There's your breakdown.
Yeah, thank you.
okay. Our last item is requesting your approval and execution for preliminary engineering and right-of-way services for the upcoming Fairview Road and Leisure Lane roundabout improvement project and Bridge 137 superstructure replacement project. This will be with Crossroad Engineers for that effort.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Hey, we're getting busy. Under Board of Commissioners, ratification of hearing officer appointment and hearing date for Pleasant Township Appeal. The hearing officer will be Commissioner Ron West. Hearing date is 4/27 tomorrow at 1 p.m. Today.
Yeah.
Today.
I should know that. My anniversary was yesterday.
Oh, really? Did you forget that too?
No, I did not. Obviously, I forgot today. 46 years, you don't forget that.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks. That's a lot of years. Motion.
Oh, I'm moved to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Acceptance of quote and award of contract pursuant to IC 36-1-12-5 for courthouse roof project. Kimmerling Construction, and that cost again, Jason,
269.27.
269.27, right?
They're all 0 on this one.
Yeah. 2-1.
I'll move to approve Camerling Construction for the roof replacement of 269.27.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Let's go to 4 and come back to 3 in case there's discussion on that. If we could, please. Award and execution of construction contract for Johnson County Park pickleball, basketball, and tennis courts project. All-Star Paving. Did you have any further questions on that? I know you had.
I was looking for a breakdown on the cost on that, Dan. For the pickleball courts, I kind of wanted to see what you were building and the costs associated with that.
I can get that.
If you could get that to me later today. Appreciate it.
Really, that goes through us. So we can get you that. Wes can.
Okay, Wes got it.
Yeah, Wes can get you that. Don't worry about it, Dan. We'll get it taken care of.
I thought I saw Wes earlier.
He's
Oh, there he is.
Fine, yeah.
Wes, yeah, thank you. I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Approval of interlocal agreement with City of Franklin for engineering purposes of I-65 Interstate Access Document Development Project.
Linda, I've talked to you about this numerous times. So, I mean, this is a long-range project. This isn't something that's gonna happen in the very near future. I know there's a lot of hopeful wishing from Franklin that it will happen quickly. We've had too much experience with Federal Highway, and this isn't even to say it's gonna come there. Because there's a lot of, as I've explained before, and I said it at the Franklin meeting, a lot of red tape that's gonna happen during this. You see the cost associated with some of the stuff we've already just approved. I mean, bridges for $1 million. Everything is very expensive these days. And to look down the future, I mean, regardless if the individuals sitting in this room agree with this or not, people keep coming to this county. And I know from a farming aspect, you don't really care for that, but this is a reality in today. People keep coming to Johnson County. In order for us to look at it and be conscious of the taxpayers, I'm going to move to approve this. I think it's something that we need to at least explore instead of just turning our head, a blind eye to it. So that's what I've got to say about this, and I know we'll have further discussions on this after this is done, so.
Yeah, I agree. With or without the county, that City of Franklin is going to move forward on this, and we're just trying to be a good neighbor in relation to what this, the impact would have on the county as well as the city. And as Kevin alluded to, this engineering evaluation that we're looking at here will make some determinations on whether it's feasible or not feasible, and some of the consequences of it, both good and bad. So I'll second his move to approve.
I knew you would approve it. I'm just for the benefit of everybody that is here, I have attended numerous meetings when we have tried to put a hold on some developments in the Franklin area. And when something gets passed by just one vote, I'm talking about the Winterfield development that is on Hurricane Road, just south of 300. When the county council members could vote via telephone and not acknowledge the fact that the room was filled with people that were opposed to that development. We had a had done a petition and had over 600 signatures. And yet it still went through. And the mayor kept saying, well, we need these houses because we need to have a viable workforce in the Franklin area. I get that. 55 to go to work. We can go for a concert or something else, but it's not a continuous flow. And it is so frustrating to those of us who own property and value these farms to just continually be told, we're bringing in more people, bringing in more people. I know it's something I need to maybe address again at the city level, that it wouldn't hurt to put a hold on some of the housing that they're bringing in. I don't know where all these people are coming from. Franklin's a great place to live. I love it. I'm very involved with Discover Downtown Franklin and all of the things that we do. And so it's a lovely place to be, but we can have a lot of people come to the events and then go home someplace else. That's what I'm saying. So I know you have a lot on your plate and a lot of things to discuss over time. I've talked with Kevin, and I know there's so many decisions that you have to make. So I do appreciate the time that you take to consider it. Again, I would like to emphasize the fact that when they do the studies, keep in mind where the construction is and where it's sending everybody. Because the one that they did a couple of years ago definitely misrepresented what was truly the actual traffic.
Linda, I'll make sure that that is a true study and not a fixed study with the current traffic flow.
Thank you.
And I have to agree with you. There's so much new home construction going on in the county. I don't know where all these people are coming from. It just amazes me. They'll build a 200 or 300 home addition. It fills up almost immediately. But thank you for your time and consideration on this.
And I agree. And I agree with a lot of what you say too. We have to control growth, and we know that. But we also know from past experience, it's better for us to have a seat at the table on some of these things than it is not. And we have done a good job here in the last few years partnering with the city of Franklin to get a seat at that table, which is why we TIFed a lot of areas in the county, was so that we would have a seat at the table. We can't just stop growth. There's times I would like to, and I think there's times that all of us would like to stop growth, but you're not going to stop it. As far as maybe an indication of where these people are coming from, they're probably not coming from this specific local area at this time. We have more move-ins coming out of Marion County. I think we have Damien with the sheriff's office here that can relate to that. We have a lot of people coming from other counties moving into this county because we are a very quick growing, economically sound county, which is hard to find these days throughout the 92 counties. I've traveled around to 67 of those counties since I've been president of the Indiana County Commissioners Association, and I see the big difference that we have here. Franklin is a really, really neat city. They've done a pretty good job of relating to the people, relating to the growth, and putting in infrastructure to help those things along. And I'm really glad that we can work with them. And again, we're in this as the seat at the table to help protect the county's interest as well as the city of Franklin's, because regardless of where you come from, if you're in Johnson County, you are Johnson County, whether you're in the city of Franklin, Greenwood, Bartlesville. It all belongs to Johnson County, and we want to be involved and engaged in that as much as possible. Will we make all of us make the right decisions? Probably not. But we will make decisions based on what we think is best for every resident in Johnson County, and including those coming in and becoming residents of this county. So with that said, all those in favor signify. You got more?
Nope, I'm good. Well, I just want to say one thing. I know you guys have talked about crime. We just talked about it this morning. The jail has over 400 people in it. Credit to the sheriff's department. If you've read the paper lately, they've made 2 major drug busts. They've got a child predators off the street. I think our law enforcement at a local level is phenomenal. They do a great job. They stay on it, and they will continue to stay on it. So some of those crime fears, I think you can look back, sheriff's department, sitting back in the back, they do a great job, and they've got your best interest in mind. So I just wanted to say something about the sheriff's department because they have really gone above and beyond here lately in the last few years and have really stamped down some crime. There's always going to be crime. Well, I'm not going to say there's not, but they're doing a great job of tackling it and going after it. So thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to come to Johnson County and commit crime, not with our sheriff's office and what we do. And also, you know, the city of Franklin Department has helped in that a lot too, their police department. So anyway, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much for those who attended and spoke on this. Claims and credit card.
Now, the only thing I have on claims is, again, I look at these interpreter services and the thousands of dollars that we're spending there. And then you couple that with public defenders. I was gonna address their crime concerns. Crime in this county, it costs the taxpayers an inordinate amount of money that they never realize. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every year for public defenders, interpreter services, and other professional services that are provided to these people who commit crimes in our county or are tried here. So I just think it's something we're going to have to look at more seriously as we go forward, especially as we deal with the impacts of Senate Bill 1 and reduction in revenue that the county is going to be faced with in the coming future. The criminal justice system, as we've said before, is 56% of our budget every year, or at least this year. And the inordinate amount continues to grow. Something I think as society, we're going to have to seriously address and how we handle this going forward. I know I've mentioned a time or two that I'd like to see the courts ask these people we're providing interpreter services for if they have a driver's license. And if they do, I'd like to know how they got it. If they can't address the language issue in court, how they get a driver's license. I haven't heard anything positive back from the courts, but I'm going to kind of go forward with that a little bit more. Maybe it's something they can ask, I don't know, but we spend thousands of dollars, and when you take that down to the local level and to the individual level, it's a major impact on people's finances, I think, if they had that money versus the loss of it. So I move to approve claims. Sheriff's not here, so I won't badger him.
Payments here. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion carries. New no business. Anything?
No.
Thank you all for being here. Motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. We're adjourned. Thank you very much.